Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Trending Paper Dive, and I am your host, Pacino Ani. I hope you are all having a wonderful start to your week. Today is Monday, January 5th, 2026. Yes, it is 2026 already. Time really flies when you are having fun with technology. So, let's gather around, because today we have a very special class. Episode. We're going to talk about a fascinating paper from the archive. The title of the paper is Scaling Open-Ended Reasoning to Predict the Future. The curl is Receive. What's 25,070? It is a bit of a mouthful, right? But do not worry. I will break it down for you just like I do for my students. You see, predicting the future sounds like magic, doesn't it? Like looking into a crystal ball. But in the world of computer science, especially in machine learning, it is a very serious and difficult problem. This paper, written by folks at the Max Planck Institute and others, tackles this exact challenge. They are trying to teach computers, specifically large language models, to think about what might happen next in the real world. Now, let me ask you a question. If I asked you, will it rain tomorrow? You could say yes or no. That is a binary question. But what if I asked, who will win the next big election? Or what company will release a revolutionary phone next year that is open-ended? And that, my friends, is much harder to predict. So, what is the problem this paper is trying to solve? Well, training artificial intelligence to predict the future is hard because we do not have enough good study materials. Most data out there is just yes or no questions from betting markets. Imagine trying to learn history, but the only questions on the test were true or false. We would not learn very much detail. YouTube? Right. So, these researchers did something very clever. They used old news. They took news articles from the past, up until April 2025, and turned them into questions. Since those events already happened, we know the answers. But the AI does not know them yet because of its training cutoff. It is like giving the AI a history test. They created a huge dataset called Foresight that has over 50,000 questions. Using this, they trained a model called Open Forecaster 8B. And guess what? This smaller model, which is like a smart middle schooler, started beating the giant models. The university professors of AI are predicting future events. It is really impressive. Now, you might be wondering, Kani, why does this matter to me? I'm not a stock trader. Well, let me tell you, predicting the future is actually useful in so many parts of our daily lives. Let me give you 3 examples so you can picture it. First, think about recommendation systems. When you're shopping on an e-commerce site or looking for a video to watch, the system is basically predicting what you will want next. If an AI can understand trends better, it can predict that, since you bought hiking boots in a tent, you will probably want a portable stove next month for your trip. It is predicting your future needs before you even realize them. Second, let's talk about stock price prediction and demand forecasting. This is huge for businesses. Imagine a clothing store. If they can predict that a specific color of shirt will be popular next summer, based on news and trends, they can make sure they have enough in stock. And for investors, predicting which company may face trouble because of a new law. This paper talks about predicting things like which country will face a new tariff. It is exactly the kind of reasoning needed here. And third, think about autonomous driving technology. When a self-driving car is on the road, it is constantly predicting the future. It sees a cyclist wobbling a bit. It has to ask, will that cyclist swerve into my lane in 2 seconds? Or it is object recognition and situational judgment combined with forecasting. While this paper focuses on world events, a core skill of reasoning about uncertainty is exactly the same. It is about looking at the clues and guessing what happens next. There is one more thing I really want to explain about this paper. It is how they grade the AI. They use something called a Brier score. It sounds fancy, but it is actually very fair. It rewards the AI for being right, but it also punishes it for being confident and wrong. So, I'm 100% sure it will rain, and it does not. It gets a huge penalty. But if it says I'm 60% sure, and it does not rain, the penalty is smaller. This teaches the AI to be honest about what it does not know. It is like when a student raises their hand and says, I think the answer is 42, but I'm not sure. That is honesty, and we like that. They found out their model, Open Forecast, is very good at this calibration. You knew when it was likely to be right, or when it should be careful. This is super important for things like medical image diagnosis support. If an AI is looking at an X-ray, you do not want it to confidently say everything is fine if it is actually unsure. You want it to say, "Hey doctor, I am not sure about this spot. Please check it." That is the power of good calibration. Researchers compared their model to other big technologies, even though their model only had 8 billion parameters, which is small in the AI world. It performed as well as models 10 times its size. It shows that teaching the AI how to think about the future, using good data from news reports, is better than just making the brain bigger. It is quality over quantity. Glass. One interesting detail from the paper is how they handle information retrieval. They let the AI look up old news articles to help it decide, but they were very careful not to let it cheat. They only let it see news from a month before the event was supposed to happen. This simulates real life perfectly. We can look at the news from today to predict tomorrow, but we cannot look at tomorrow's news. This retrieval process improved the accuracy by a lot, almost 18% in some cases. So, to wrap up this lesson, this paper, Scaling Open-Ended Reasoning to Predict the Future, is a big step forward. It shows us that we can train computers to be better forecasters by using the history we already have. It is not just about memorizing facts, but about reasoning, connecting the dots, and understanding uncertainty. Whether it is for catching bad guys with spam mail filtering, helping us store stock the right items, or just helping us understand where the world is heading, this technology is going to be very important. I hope you found that interesting. It is amazing to think that by reading old news, machines are learning to see the future. Maybe next they can predict when I'll finally finish grading all these papers. Just kidding. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Arnard Kanakini, reporting on the future from 2026. Have a great day, everyone.